there guys, welcome back to I Can't Witch Without, which is my series which discusses some of the items which I use regularly in my practice. This, as always, disclaimer, is not to say that you require any of these items to be a witch, or that you must own any of them, or anything of that nature. It's just insight into tools I use regularly and why. So this week I wanted to look at Labradorite, and anybody who knows me or is on the Facebook page or anything like that will know that I'm completely obsessed with two crystals right now. They're stalking me, they're following me around. The other one is Labradorite and then Labradorite. As you can see, we've got some pieces in front of you. We have a generator point, an egg, some of the tumblestones in two sizes which I've been able to get hold of, some of which are the really small, really beautiful ones, some of the slightly larger ones, and then my sort of arrowhead shaped Labradorite point, I guess. Not quite a palm stone, but there we go. The meanings for Labradorite from the Crystal Bible are as follows. Is highly mystical and protective, a bringer of light. It raises consciousness and connects with universal energies. It deflects unwanted energies from the aura, and prevents energy leakage. It forms a barrier to negative energies shed during therapy. It can take you to another world or into other lives. It facilitates initiation into the mysteries. Labradorite aligns the physical and etheric bodies and access spiritual purpose. It raises consciousness and grounds spiritual energies into the physical body. This stone stimulates intuition and psychic gifts, including the art of right timing, bringing messages from the unconscious mind to the surface and facilitating understanding. Psychologically, Labradorite banishes fears and insecurities and the psychic debris from previous disappointments, including those from past lives. It strengthens faith in self and trust in the universe. It removes other people's projections, including thought forms that may have hooked into the aura. Labradorite calms an overactive mind and energizes the imagination, bringing up new ideas. Analysis and rationality are balanced with inner sight. Brings contemplative and introspective behavior. Synthesizing intellectual thought with intuitive wisdom is an excellent dispeller of illusions, going to the root of the matter and showing the real intention behind thoughts and actions. A useful companion through change, imparting strength and perseverance. A stone of transformation, it prepares body and soul for the ascension process. In matters of healing, Labradorite treats disorders of eyes and brain, relieving stress and regulating metabolism. It treats colds, gout, rheumatism, balancing hormones, and relieves menstrual tension and lower back pressure. I've also seen it called a mystic stone and a shaman stone, which it actually isn't in here, but I've seen it called that, and having a sort of deep interconnection with the relationship of magic and the mystical. And it's because of the way that Labradorite sort of shimmers through, and you know, the blue that shimmers through. This is probably the best side, but the light's a bit awkward in here. Anyway, Labradorite is a recent crystal to have come into my life, along with Labradorite. And I think it's in the last 6 months that these two crystals have come up over and over and over again. By that, I mean that pictures will be shared of it on Facebook, and I'll see jewellery with it in shops as I pass, and I'll notice it on websites, in stores, etc. And it's just like my consciousness is picking away at it, like this, bringing it to the forefront, bringing it to my attention. And I have to say, it's been an incredible stone so far. I have started working with it, and of course I'm probably at the beginning of my journey with regards to Labradorite. I can't talk about it as much as, say, amethyst or smoky quartz perhaps. However, it has already had a profound effect. I've had some of the clearest visualizations whilst meditating with Labradorite than any other crystal previously. And of course, it is energy-wise deemed to raise consciousness and connecting with universal energies, so that makes sense. When I first connected with this crystal and was meditating with it, I've had a lot of water amidst forest imagery, so pools in the centre of forest and things of that nature, and delving into the psyche through that sort of imagery. A lot of those meditations are personal and private, so I can't go into too much depth in what actually happens in them, but it has facilitated really clear meditation. I was also reading that Labradorite doesn't hold negative energy and cannot be used for negative purposes. It's also a really strong protective crystal against sort of psychic attack and things of that nature. It's also a fantastic stone for self-introspection, so looking into your own motivations, looking into behaviours that you need to get at the bottom of and you may or may not need to change. Understanding yourself from more than one perspective, so you're understanding why you're engaging in certain behaviours or certain reactions or certain emotions, and then you can use it to draw on sort of past life karmas and lessons and things which may or may not be blocking you now. And then it is a stone of transformation, which Labradorite is as well. It's helping you become who you want to be, sort of holding you whilst you're transforming and changing and growing into who you are meant to be. And right now, transformational type crystals really are speaking to me, and Labradorite is probably the one that is doing it most on balance with lepidolite. I can't talk to healing because I've been using it primarily in its mystical, magical sense. It would be a fantastic grid crystal for workings of mysticism and magic. It would work really well with a merlinite. If you were building a grid for transformation, it would work really well with that. If you were trying to harness energies into shifting your life, shifting your energy, that would be really fantastic for that. Or again, that introspection, so if you were going to use a crystal or grid a few crystals as part of the divination process, or sort of meditate with a crystal before the divination process, be it tarot, or it would make a fantastic pendulum and things of that nature. It would really help with getting in touch with the messages that you need to be aware of in terms of divination to help you in your life, dealing with problems that you may be facing and things of that nature. It's highly protective as well, and you could use it in a lot of protection forms of magic, be it sachets or howsoever you choose to use crystals to protect your space. Again, grids, you can create items with them in, or place them along windowsills or doorways, or hang them up and things of that nature. It just touches my soul, this crystal, in a way that I cannot really vocalize very well. Again, it is new, so my experiences with it are reasonably limited, and the ones I've had are so profound that I'm not comfortable in sharing too much information of them, which of course doesn't really help when you're trying to talk to people on video about this crystal. But all I can say is that it's well worth working with. I think it's an incredible stone, and they all have distinct personalities. Like a lot of the other crystals, where they do have their own sort of energies and things, they may or may not have that sort of similarity, that familiar feel throughout all of them. However, Labradorite to me feel very much in touch with higher energy, and therefore your experiences with different crystals can be very varied. The egg, for example, is much different, but the arrowhead is my current favourite. Perhaps it's the shape being so directional, cutting through and shaping energy that way. It's just amazing, and I carry it with me a lot of the time. So that's going to be it for this video. I highly recommend Labradorite. I think it's an incredible stone. I think it's well worth getting a tumblestone. The tumblestones are not expensive. I haven't seen any pieces of Labradorite which are particularly expensive, unless you're going to places which are overcharging, in which case, you know, of course it would be. So yeah, reasonably well available too. It's not difficult to get hold of. So that's it for this video. Many blessings.